boiled an old copper outside, and sisters used to have the first bars and Syd had the last one. He was always reckoned he was the dirtiest. Yeah.
Mum first?
Oh, she'd get water afterwards and have her own, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, getting back to the cream truck used to come twice a week to pick the cream up. And we had a wireless which ran on a 12 volt, a 6 volt wet battery. And of course, when it went flat, it had to go to Hayward. It went in the cream truck and we would be without a battery for at least a week. And of course, if they forgot it, it was longer. But that was, you know, later on in years we put in a 32 volt lighting plant, and of course we had TV here. Oh, well, we used to, over where the school was, we had a tennis court there that we put in. It was only a dirt court. Used to play a lot of tennis, and once a month they had a dance in the school. Had to clean all the desks out and go there to a dance. Often, later on, when I had a vehicle, I used to have to go and pick up a musician. There was an old chap, I don't remember his name at the moment, over at Drumborg. They used to have to go over and get him and take him home. But then there was George Hollis out at Milltown. He used to play the piano, but yeah, we used to have some great nights there in the old school. Yeah. During the war, I used to cut the Hayward footballers to. They played at Drick, not Drick. No, I'm still wrong. This side of Dartmoor, Winnip. Yeah, and they go to Tirradara and so forth. But you know, there was just no way of getting around.
What were the worst times?
Oh, probably bogged with the truck somewhere. Yeah, trying to get wood out and all this sort of things. Yeah.
So what do you think of it all looking back?
Well, it's just unbelievable. Anybody that reads this today would think I was telling tales, I think. They just wouldn't realise. No, just unbelievable.
Just getting back to milking cows for a minute, how many cows an hour would you milk by hand or whatever?
Oh, well, there wasn't. Yeah, well, I think the most, you see, we had when we came here, we could only, we had to cut back, I think, a bit because we didn't have the land, but as we cleared it and got things going, I think we were milking about 16 by hand. Well, there's 2 bales, 2. I suppose we'd milk them in around about the hour, the cows.
And how many of you would be milking too?
Only 2, yeah. I used to squib it a bit. I'd find something else. The 2 sisters did a lot of the milking, and the mother gave a hand too, as far as that goes. But later on in life, after we got married, when Valletta and I here, well, we put in a new dairy down there, and we had milking machines, and Valletta used to milk the cows. I'd be away on the truck, and it was left to her to milk. We were milking about 20 or 22 cows then, and we were sending, it was milk, then it went to the Hayward cheese factory. Yeah. I remember being here a night, I think Keith Carter was working, a cousin of mine, he was here, and we'd been to the pictures and the girls, and come home, and got to sleep, and it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and there was someone rattling on the door, and I got up, and it was one of the Aborigines, a chap by name Clark, his wife. He wanted me to go out and take his wife into the hospital. She was having a baby, but anyway, the mother came with me, took her out there, and I don't know how we got in touch. We must have rang Dr. Collins. We didn't have a phone on here. Wouldn't have had a phone on here at the time. I don't think so. The mother stopped there with her, and I came back to the crossroads down here and waited for Dr. Collins to come out, and I picked him up. No way you could get out any further than there. I took him out in a log truck, and but when we got out there, mother had delivered the baby. She'd been a nurse in her early days, and everything was right. So I had to bring Dr. Collins back, and he went back into Hayward.
So, what do you remember of the 1939 fires, Syd?
Yeah, I remember being here the morning, and we milked the cows, and it was, you could see back out there, it was as black as anything. And Mr. Franklin from down there, he came up to see how we were going, what we were going to do, and anyway, we got some wet bags, and it was that black and that much smoke around. He saved the house, and we didn't reckon anything was burnt till the smoke cleared, and everything was burnt around. And the cows were up near the dam down the paddock, the dam there, and they were up around there. They were all right. But it was 3 or 4 days before we could get out for the trees from here to the crossroads there. I had to cut them all off with the axe. Like the Shire couldn't do it. There would have been only half a dozen blokes working for the Shire, and the roads were blocked everywhere. Just unbelievable. Yeah. But we survived.
What was that?
I said we survived. That was the main thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We used to have a train to Melbourne every day. Used to go up here, and back we used to go, if we wanted to go to Hamilton, we had to walk up to Milltown, which would be about 2.5 miles. We went straight up through there and catch the train, and we used to go up at night. The post office was there near the railway station. We'd get our mail there. We'd be able to get it by paper off the train if we were up there. They were just, I'd come in from cutting wood, and there was nothing to walk up there to catch the train. It used to come in about 5:30, 5:45. Yeah.
Yeah, she must have been fit.
I had to be.
Sleep all right at night, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no worries about taking sleeping pills or anything. I'd come in from cutting wood or working in the paddock or something, and have tea and jump on the push bike and ride into Hayward. you wouldn't think anything about it. But, you can't do it today. Wouldn't get many people to do it today, would you? No.
And was there a stove in that fireplace when you came here?
Yeah. I think it's had two or three stoves in it. Yeah, those old IXLs, weren't they? Yeah, stoves.
Very good. Yeah, Mum talks about cooking without, just on the open fire at Bridgewater when they were kids. You know, just with the steel rod across and hang the saucepans and that on.
Yeah. Well, when we were at Bridgewater, you know where we were at Bridgewater?
Were you where the other Wilsons were afterwards?
You know where the Wilson place is there?
Yeah.
Well, they go up the hill there at the bay and up past where the church used to be, and there used to be an old school right on the bend there.
Yep.
Well, we used to go straight through a gate there, there's cattle yards there, and we were up in the hill.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and we run right back to, I think there was about 400 acres that run right back there to the sea.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember where those cattle yards there on that bend, old Indian Hawker, he used to come there and camp. And I used to go there, and he'd give me bloody boiled lollies, and I'd have that bloody damper. He used to cook damper and so forth. Yeah. They used to bring the mail out there, horse and cart. Yeah. And a neighbour, Harold Frost, had a contract to cut around about 8 acres it was, level with the ground, the trees, cut them into 12-foot lengths. He was allowed to, the contract, he was allowed to leave 4 trees to the acre, and used to come home from school and give him a hand to cut down the bigger gums or messmate with a cross saw level with the ground. But when I wasn't there, he had to use a peg in the ground, a steel peg in the ground with a bike tube tied to it and with the end of the saw to cut them down. And he did this work on the price of £5 per acre.